What is up, YouTube? C here, and once again I'm back with another video. And this time, instead of doing something standard for my channel, like uploading a gameplay video, or that has the view count of the Maldives population, or just a UFC picks video, I decided, man, I really need to diversify my shit. And well, here's, I guess, probably my first video about, actually I did one a while back, but that got about the same amount of views as the Maldives population. So and for today's video, it's gonna be about, and this is, I guess, a bit of a take, is it hot? Probably not, depending on how you are. But this is a video about why the UFC lightweight division just has so much talent. And before I get into, actually this video is being made in literally the preparation of this video took like 20 minutes. So this is gonna be, very minimal amount of script. But as for the first, let me give some background information on why it does have a lot of talent. And it's because, well, this is the average man division. And now I did do a little bit of research, very minimal amount of research, and here's what I did. I went to look at the top 3 most represented countries in the UFC, and now, as of now, it does get a little more murky, but the top 3 were the US, Brazil, and Russia. So I'd say pretty fair. Now, as for the average man in the US, and by average man, I mean, your guy who goes to, I don't know, work at a call center or office job, or serving up fries on the grill. Your average guy, maybe your guy who's still in college, and this isn't taking into account guys who, work out, do other stuff, athletes. This is really the average man. And the average man in the US is, close to 200 pounds. And there were some ranges, so, they're height-wise for the US man, 5'7.5" to 5'9", which sounds pretty fair. And as for Brazil, 160.3 pounds, which I was actually a little shocked by. And by the way, like I said, I did very minimal research, so take it with a grain of salt. But the average Brazilian height is 5'7.5" to 5'9", which actually is a bit interesting. Now, the reason why I put 5'7.5", 5'9" for the US, I actually think I might have messed that up. I believe the average height for a US guy is 5'9", but I kind of fucked that up. But moving on, the average Russian man height and weight is 155, close to half a pound, and 5 feet 10 inches, which, okay, I won't lie, is a little strange. I don't think the average Russian man is 155 pounds, but I don't know. I mean, should we even trust what a Russian says? But yeah, there's some background statistics. The genetics of these guys, the top 3 most represented countries in the lightweight division, or out of all divisions of the UFC. But right here, I decided to put the heights of these UFC champs. And first off, we got Jens Pulver, 5'7", and I'll just be going down. Sean Sherk, 5, and Jens Pulver, he was actually I'll try and go and give a little bit of information that I know off the top of my head, and hopefully I won't get none of it wrong, which don't count on it. Now, Jens Pulver, he's 5'7", 5 feet 7 inches. And look, Jens Pulver was the first inaugural UFC champion. I believe he won it off of Cal Uno, I think, in the vacant fight, if memory serves me right. Like I said, I'm going off the top of my head, so who knows? Some of this information is more than likely wrong. So, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. And after that, he actually vacated because he got into an argument with the UFC, and boom, division went into shutdown because BJ Penn fought Kauno for a vacant title, and they went to a draw, and the UFC was like, fuck this division. Anyways, it went away, and Sean Sherk won the vacant title, I believe, over Kenny Florian, if memory serves me right. And as you can see, Sean Sherk, 5 feet 6 inches, which he's actually tied for being the shortest lightweight champ. Sean Sherk gets stripped because he was on that secret juice, if you know what I mean, that peptide John Jones that he's taken. The boner pill. Anyways, moving on, BJ Penn, 5'9", and 5 feet 9 inches. Now, he actually did set the record, which stood until Islam Makhachev came around, which was 3 title defenses, including wins. And honestly, I don't think BJ is actually 5'9". Recently I saw This was actually a while ago. There was actually a photo that went around of him standing next to Jose Aldo, and they were literally the same height. And obviously, Jose is like 5'7", maybe 5'6", which actually is kind of impressive because this dude BJ literally fought at 145 and went up to as high as like 180, 190 something open weight. Fought Lyoto Machida, was actually insane. And obviously, BJ, next up, Frankie Edgar, who beat BJ Penn for his lightweight strap, 5 feet 7 inches. 3 title defenses, 2 title wins. And I mean, Frankster fought as low as 135. So, actually, no. Oh, I messed that up. I meant to put 5'6". I'll try and fix that in post maybe. But moving on, the man who beat Frankie Edgar, Benson Henderson, 3 title defenses, 3 wins. So pretty standard. And then he lost to his the guy who's been a pain in the ass since the WEC days, Anthony Pettis, who is tied as the tallest lightweight champ at 5 feet 10 inches. Now, Pettis, known for the Showtime kick, yada yada, other stuff, Wheaties box. Yeah. He defended his title once against Gilbert Melendez, I believe. And then that was about it, because he fought Rafael Dos Anjos, who was 5 feet 8 inches. And RDA, well, beat him up. And then he defended his title against Cowboy Cerrone, who is actually, I believe, the tallest person to fight for UFC title at 6 feet. Because I can't think of anybody else right now. So if made this part of the video, comment down who was actually the tallest. But yeah, it's got to be Cowboy, because I literally can't think of anybody else that comes to mind. That's on my head. And by the way, I'm not counting interim champs. Guys like Tony, Dustin, Justin, because one, that would kind of inflate the video, even though this video is meant to be a little shorter. And two, I'm talking about Undisputed here, because it keeps things a lot more, like I said, simple. And the man who beat Rafael Dos Anjos, Eddie Alvarez. And Eddie Alvarez got beat by Conor McGregor. I mean, Eddie was known for having that sick-ass fight in Bellator against Michael Chandler. That's really all I can think of about. Also, his wife's yell is a little quite loud whenever he's fighting. And Conor McGregor, Mystic Mac, Mr. Lifting Weights, Mr. Snorting Cocaine in the afternoon, 5 feet 9 inches. And this is the era where title defense stopped being a thing, because, well, Khabib won the vacant title against House Realtor Ally Quinta, and what's actually probably the worst title performance. I mean, really, bro? You won the title in this 5-round decision against Ally Quinta. You couldn't submit him. You decided to stand up and strike him. That actually is pretty bad. I can't lie, bro. Ally Quinta that dude was literally the last resort title challenger. But moving on, Khabib defends his title 3 more times. Conor, Dustin, Justin. I should have probably named the other guys like Frankie, but I mean, Frankie defended against BJ Penn once and then twice against Gray Maynard. Benson once against Frankie. Nate. Who's the other guy? I don't actually remember. Huh. Interesting. BJ, he actually defended against Diego Sanchez, Kenny Florian, and Joe Stevenson. And alright, so, just have to get a little bit of rundown, because, hey man, I gotta fill up this video with information, so that way it doesn't look like I'm a casual, like Joe Rogan's ass, unironically speaking. But moving on, Charles Oliveira fights for the vacant title against Michael Chandler, even though it probably should have been Poirier, but Poirier decided to get that bag for whatever reason against Conor. And obviously Charles, 5'10", defends it once. Officially, I'm doing quotation with my hands, misses weight on the scale for a second title defense against Justin Gaethje, his first one being against Poirier, and, well, he missed weight against Gaethje, and that was obviously for the vacant belt. Gaethje could only win that, but Gaethje lost. And then Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira happened for the vacant title, and Islam Makhachev, 5 feet 10, he beats Charles Oliveira on a triangle choke in the second round. And, yeah, Islam Makhachev broke the record with 4 title defenses. Volk, Poirier, and the GOAT, Renato Money Moicano. Pretty cool. And then Ilia Topuria comes in because Islam Makhachev decides, I'm going to vacate this belt. Let's ruin another division by not fighting for whatever reason, And then Ilia wins the title against Charles Oliveira. Brutally. 5 feet 7 inches. And, he was going to defend his title, but homie forgot to sign the prenup and didn't learn about Miami women from the Note Boys, so we have to wait over a year for him to fight again, which will be happening in, let's see, as of this recording, a month and a half from now, if my math is correct. But yeah, as you can see, the height-wise, the shortest champs have been 5 feet 6 inches, and the tallest, I'm pretty sure Charles is 5'11", but from the multiple sources, it kind of fluctuated, so I just went with 5'10" to be a little bit conservative. And this is why I say this is the average man division, because like I said, you know, the average man is like close to 190 to 200 pounds with, and this is the average man, by the way, the average man that doesn't work out probably is like doing an office job, like I said, or working in fast food, retail, yada yada, college age. And obviously as you go by age groups, it does vary. But if I was to do all that information, well, who knows if it would have been worth it. And also it would have required a butt ton of research. And like I said, I was trying to get a video out because I have a lot of time in my hands right now. And I mean, shit, with all this research, I mean, I think I did a below average job. I mean, you know, just talking about why the UFC lightweight division just has the best talent and is just a shark tank of a division. I mean, it really is impressive, Islam Makhachev's win streak. Because look, you can argue some of these guys were over the hill or, you know, just bad. But I mean, Charles Oliveira's win streak, Khabib's win streak, I think those were the only guys. It kind of puts it into perspective, you know, guys like Khabib, Charles, and Islam as being all-time greats. I mean, obviously Charles, he's been knocked out due to his recent performances, which is no fault to his own. I mean, losing to guys like Arman, Islam, Ilya, I mean, can we really put it on him, you know? I mean, come on. I think most people... And look, even like the top of the division, I think the tallest guy in there is Dan Hooker or one of those Mexican dudes. I forgot. I think Ignacio Balmendez, he's like 6'1". So, and he's getting beaten out by guys like Rafael Fiziev who are like 5'8", like 5'7", bro. It just really shows you that this is the most talent-rich division. And now you can make an argument for a weight class like welterweight, but welterweight has just had more dominant champs, which I guess makes Islam's title reign a bit more impressive, even though there are a lot of asterisks. When you dig deep, there are some big asterisks. I mean, it really puts into perspective why 155 is just a shark tank. But like I said, and maybe I'll make a video about 170 another day, but 170 can also be argued as the average man's division, because I'm not going to get into it now, but I think the tallest champ has been like Leon Edwards, I think, at like 6'1", 6'2", actually. And the shortest has been fucking Matt Serra at like 5 feet 6 inches, dog. Which is just crazy. And that's coming off the top of my head, so who knows. I mean, I know Matt Serra is like 5'6" for sure. That dude is short as hell. I don't know about Leon. I think he might have been like 6'1" or something like that. But yeah, I mean, there's really is nothing else for me to talk about. This is more like a rant, you know. Maybe just me like using this as a talking point to, you know, diversify my content a little more. Because like I said, you know, doing gaming videos that most people don't watch and picks that are just kind of, you know, they kind of follow a basic formula, and also getting, you know, it's kind of boring, and I like to get more into like statistical stuff and, you know, talking point stuff, you know, bring up some interesting topics, you know, maybe y'all can start asking, maybe y'all ask questions about them, I answer them, some shit like that, I don't know. But, you know, made this far into the video, really appreciate like and subscribe to all that YouTube stuff. You know, thanks for watching, just praying that everybody out there is safe and happy. And if you guys enjoyed this video and want more content like this, I won't lie, this was a bit rushed, because that was kind of the point, you know. I was like, man, let me try and cram a video in here, and you know, that's really all there was to it. So whether or not this video will be well received, I mean, you know, I just hope for some more constructive criticism, and that's all I really got to say, y'all. Peace.